Welcome to a new episode of the 90s Metal Gamer, where we stay hydrated and play video games. I know it's been quite some time since I last reviewed a video game, and I apologize for that. I have been very busy. Please keep in mind that I do not make any money from this channel, but ultimately that is the goal. I want to share an accomplishment that I had with the channel. As of editing this video on December 23rd, 2023, I have reached 1,007 subscribers. My goal was to reach 1,000 subscribers by January 1st, and I believe I have surpassed that. So from the bottom of my heart, no, with all of my heart, I want to share a thank you with you. Thank you very much. This really does mean a lot to me, more than you know. Now, with all the sentimental stuff out of the way, let's talk about this review video. This is a casual review of Halo 4. Meaning that I did not complete this game to 100% completion, and I played on the easiest difficulty. This is how I like to play my games, because I'd rather not rage quit, and I'd rather not be frustrated when I play my games. After all, I am 36 years old, and I like to live my life as stress-free as I possibly can, but we all know that's not possible. I am personally not a big fan of first-person shooter games, but there are a few exceptions, such as Halo and the Doom series. Those two I will always hold high on a pedestal. And I think my take on first-person shooter games has been tainted by the Call of Duty series. Quite frankly, I think they release the same game every single year, just with better graphics. But of course I could be wrong. I could also say the same thing about sports games. I really don't keep up with any sports at all. This includes the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, and whatever sports there are out there. I don't keep track of it, unless you want to count powerlifting or strongman competitions as a sport. That's what I like to see. I like to think that Halo revolutionized first-person shooter games for the modern era in the same way that the Doom series revolutionized it for the 90s. Over the course of this review, I'm going to go over the story, the gameplay, the presentation, and the music. And then I'll wrap it all up with a water score. Cue the channel intro.
And then the Lord said,
I want to see your tiny head.
Before I get into this review video, I want to talk a little bit about the Halo franchise and its association with Bungie and how it transitioned over to 343 Studios. I'm quite certain that everybody watching this video knows that the Halo franchise was originally developed by Bungie. Bungie was responsible for the OG Halo, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, and Halo Reach. Bungie decided to part ways with Microsoft due to internal conflict with the company. And they also wanted to not be tied down to one single franchise that defined them. Good for Bungie for looking out for themselves and wanted to expand their IPs. In the long run, this would turn out as an absolute win for Bungie as they went on to develop games such as Destiny and Destiny 2. I personally have never played those games, but according to Wikipedia, they sold quite well. Fast forward to July 2022, Sony Interactive Entertainment acquired Bungie for a whopping $3.6 billion, with $1.2 billion for retaining current employees. Halo Reach would be the last Halo game that was developed by Bungie. This is where 343 Studios comes in. Beginning with Halo 4, 343 Studios would develop all future Halo titles. Halo 4 and Halo 5 Guardians are the only Halo games that I have played from 343 Studios. In regards to Halo 5, I really don't remember it, so that tells me it probably wasn't that good. In regard to Halo 4, it did get a lot of backlash from the hardcore gaming community. And I would like to think it's because of what made Halo so unique from the Bungie era. elements such as dual wielding and a wide variety of both Covenant and human weapons. Now those elements did not really matter to me because I really wasn't a fan of dual wielding because it took too long to reload. And for the weapons, whenever I play Halo, I tend to find one weapon and stick to it throughout the entire game. If it works, it works. And of course, different situations will call for different weapons and tactics, but once I'm finished with that certain situation, I would quickly go back to my favorite weapons. And that right there, my friends, is a brief history of the Halo franchise, Bungie, and 343 Studios. Now that that is out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this review video. We're going to start with the story. As many of you already know, I suck at storytelling, so I'm going to let the game tell the story for me. Fair warning, this cutscene here is quite long. That's what she said. Enjoy.
Dr. Halsey.
You already know everything.
You kidnapped them.
Children's minds are more easily accepting of indoctrination. Their bodies more adaptable to augmentation. The result was the ultimate soldier. And because of our success, when the Covenant invaded, we were ready.
Dr. Halsey, you're bending history for your own favor, and you know it. You developed the Spartans to crush human rebellion, not to fight the Covenant.
When one human world after another fell, when my Spartans were all that stood between humanity and extinction, nobody was concerned about why they were originally built.
So you feel in the end your choices were justified?
My work saved the human race.
Do you think the Spartans' lack of basic humanity helped?
What are you after? The others before you were naval intelligence, but you're something else.
Records show Spartans routinely exhibited mildly sociopathic tendencies, difficulty with socialization, and
The records show efficient behavior operating in hazardous situations. I supplied the tools to maintain that efficiency.
Do you believe the Master Chief succeeded because he was, at his core, broken?
What does John have to do with this? You want to replace him?
The Master Chief is dead.
His file reads missing in action.
Catherine. Spartans never die.
Your mistake is seeing Spartans as military hardware. My Spartans are humanity's next step. Our destiny as a species. Do not underestimate them. But most of all, do not underestimate him. Wake up, Chief. I need you.
Chief! Easy. You've been out for a while.
Where are we?
We're still adrift on the Dawn.
Why did you wake me?
Hang on. Bringing your systems online now. I rewrote your ship's firmware while you were out.
You've been busy.
Activating the ship's gravity generators. Chief, look up. You need to pull the manual release.
Seems like old times.
Ready to get back to work?
I thought you'd never ask. We've got intrusion alerts lighting up on multiple decks. Our best bet to figure out who's boarding us is the observation deck, 4 floors up.
Could it be a rescue team?
Wouldn't bet on it.
Based on that cutscene alone, you can tell that there are going to be 2 storylines here, one involving Spartan 117 himself, including Cortana, and the other being what the hell attacked them. Spoiler alert, it's actually a new enemy called the Prometheans. Have a look at this cutscene to gain a better understanding.
Where are we?
Checking coordinate impact data.
We have asked you to give up your family, your childhood, your future.
Cortana.
I'm sorry. It's the crash. I'm fine.
Something was wrong even before we left the Dawn.
Chief? Really? I'm fine.
Cortana.
I was put into service 8 years ago.
8 years.
AIs deteriorate after 7, Chief.
Halsey.
Chief.
We need to find Halsey.
Chief, please.
She made you. She can fix you.
I won't recover from rampancy, Chief.
If we can just get back to Earth and find Halsey, she can fix this.
Don't make a girl a promise you can't keep. We need to move.
The main antagonist of Halo 4 is an alien known as the Didact, and here is what he has to say.
So fades the great harvest of my betrayal. Even these beasts recognize what you were oblivious to, human. Your nobility has blinded you, as ever. librarian left little to chance, didn't she? Turning my own guardians, my own world, against me. But what hubris to believe she could protect her pets from me forever. If you haven't mastered even these primitives, then man has not attained the mantle. Their ascendance may yet be prevented. Time was your ally, human. But now it has abandoned you. The Foreigners have returned. This tomb is now yours.
Slipspace rupture! Chief, move!
So not only do you have to get Cortana to Dr. Halsey so she can fix her, per se, but you also have to fight off the Covenant, the Prometheans, and the Didact. And I'm sorry for including these long cutscenes in here. I normally don't do that, but there's so much going on here that I feel like it would be easier just to let you watch the cutscene so you can better understand it. Now, I didn't know this until editing this video, but the Prometheans are actually humans that were turned into AI by the Didact himself in order to protect Requiem. And knowledge is power. And that right there, my friends, is a somewhat summarized story of Halo 4. Once again, I am sorry for including these long cutscenes, but there's just so much going on here that I feel like it would be better for you just to watch the cutscenes instead of me having to explain it to you. I feel like what Halo 4 was trying to do was trying to stay faithful to its OG roots while trying to expand its story. That means including different characters such as the Prometheans. Overall, I think they did a fantastic job, and I really don't understand why it got so much backlash. It is great. What I'm about to say, I mean it in the most respectful way possible. Halo 4 plays no differently than any of its predecessors. And what I mean by that is it's your typical first-person shooter. The controls were very simple. Prior to playing Halo 4 for this review video, the last Halo game that I played was Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. And that was quite some time ago because I also made a review video about Halo 1 Anniversary Edition. If you go through my videos, you'll be able to find it. The learning curve for these controls was practically non-existent. I was able to pick up exactly where I left off after playing Halo 1 quite some time ago. I thought that was great. You have a great variety of weapons to choose from in Halo 4. You got your human weapons, you got your Covenant weapons, and you also have your Promethean weapons. Nothing short of a variety. And I absolutely cannot forget about the vehicles. You got your Ghost, you got your Banshee, you got your tank, and you got your Pelican. While I was commandeering these vehicles, I got a huge rush of nostalgia from the OG Halo. It was great to relive my teenage years playing Halo 4. You may not know it based on how I play my games now, but back in my day, I was untouchable at Halo. I was the best of the best in my group of friends. Nowadays, I play my games on the easiest difficulty because I'd rather not stress myself out. And I highly doubt that I'll ever reach that level of gaming again in my entire life because I like how I play my games now. Nonetheless, the gameplay was very familiar, very reminiscent of the OG Halo series and others. I give it a solid 10 out of 10.
Chief, I know I'm supposed to know what to do, but
We'll have to deploy the warhead manually. How and where?
I always know what to do. I always know what to do. Just give me a second.
Keep scanning for the composer. We'll figure it out on the way.
The presentation segment of this video is going to be fairly short because I believe the graphics here speak for themselves. It is nothing short of eye candy for the player. Absolutely beautiful. Everything from the gameplay graphics to the pre-rendered cutscenes were absolutely beautiful. I must add that this is an Xbox 360 game, and I played it on my Xbox One. And from what I understand, the Xbox One just makes it look a little bit prettier, but not by much, and that says a lot for the Xbox 360. Have a look at this cutscene right here. It is done absolutely beautifully. This is definitely going to be a hot take, but I firmly believe that this is peak Xbox 360 graphics. I don't think it can get any better than this on the Xbox 360. Overall, the graphics were absolutely beautiful. Everything about it was beautiful. Bright colors where it needed to be, darks where it needed to be. Absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10.
Mankind spread into the stars with an unexpected, desperate violence. Entire systems fell before the Didact's warrior servants rose to halt the aggression.
I am 99.99% positive that most of the music in this game has a copyright associated with it, so I am playing it safe and playing some of the music that I think doesn't have a copyright on it. And if it does, well, so be it. I really like this music right here, so I hope you enjoy it.
Weakened from our conflict, we were no match for the parasite which pursued you. The Forerunners made plans for a final great journey.
The overall feel of the music is sombering to say the least, and if you ask me, it matches the gameplay and the story. It's exactly what it needs to be in the right situation.
We can use this gondola to cross to the other side. Find the activation switch.
I have to admit that sombering type music isn't really my thing, hence the reason why my channel is called The 90s Metal Gamer. I like heavy metal music. But in this case of Halo 4, the sombering music fits perfectly with the story and everything around it. 10 out of 10.
Maybe they haven't recognized us.
That's one possibility. Landing craft flanking us!
Overall, I had a lot of fun playing Halo 4 over again, and If I have to be honest here, then I'm going to admit that after playing it, it may have reignited my passion and love for the Halo franchise. The biggest beef that I have with this game, or letdown, whatever you want to call it, is the fight with the Didact. I was expecting to have this big, major, super brawl with him, but no. It was a cutscene with a few QuickTime events. I mean, what the fuck, man? This is the Didact. I had a little rush of nostalgia in certain areas of the game because it reminded me of the first time I ever played Halo. It reminded me of the simpler times I had as a teenager when I did not have to worry about anything except making it to school on time. Even at that, I was 14 years old when OG Halo released, so I wasn't even able to drive myself, so I had to rely on either my brother or my dad to take me to school. So mark that off the list. Once again, my biggest gripe about this game is the fight with the Didact because it was a major letdown. Other than that, everything else in this game was beautiful. And because the fight with the Didact was a major letdown, I'm going to give this game a water score of 4 out of 5 bottles of water. Thank you for watching my video all the way to the end. I really do appreciate it, and I really do mean that. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I love y'all, stay hydrated, and stay tuned for my next video.